and being a part of the Illuminati and all this stuff, I would say that you would not even know about the secret societies. You would not even know about the Illuminati. You would not know anything about the world conspiracy if it had not been for me. Before you were born, young man, before you were born, I was out in the world, going around the world, talking about Illuminati, secret societies, world governments, Federal Reserve, all the Bible stuff that's going on, the mysticism in government, the occult. Before you were born, young man, I was out there on the world and lost my family, lost my wife, lost everything in my that a man could lose by putting myself out there on the front line to awaken my fellow man, only to discover today that people like you have now come to decide that I am working for the Illuminati. If I were working for the Illuminati or the evil archy, I would at least be able to pay my rent and have a shower.
I have never said you were.
I was living for 14 years in a room that had no shower. I had no income. I lived
I think that the same thing happened when you started with that guy summoned the UFOs back in the day when that guy showed you and gave you the Charles M. Fort book. That's when it started. You're a true believer, Jordan. I've always thought that. You think that what you're doing is good, but it's just something that you can obviously tell that those angels weren't good. The message isn't good. You are being used to spread the one message that the New World Order does really care about, and that is turn away from Jesus Christ at all costs.
Okay, now,
that's what you've done.
Let's let Jordan have the last word here. We've got a minute, Jordan.
And let me say one last word. The Jordanus Maximus, I think we've already cleared that up. And I had nothing to do with that whatsoever. So I would expect you to apologize to me for spreading that rumor, because it is totally untrue. I never picked the name Jordanus Maximus, and you wouldn't know anything about Jordanus Maximus myself. I put it on my website. That's how people knew about Jordanus Maximus, is because I, Jordan Maxwell, put it on my website. I'm the one that told the world about it. Now, if I was going to be fooling people by taking another name, why would I broadcast it on my own website? It doesn't make any sense. Why would I do that to myself? I'm the one that told you about Jordanus Maximus. You didn't find it out. I told you about it. And I said on my website, it was a fluke. I've never heard of such a thing. I thought it was funny. I thought it was clever and silly. So I put it on my website and said, I don't know what to think of this. This is silly. This is crazy. I said that on my website. But there's something about Jordanus Maximus.
We're going to
You turn around and say that that's where I got my name from. That's ludicrous. And
whether you did or not, it's
you
still
should apologize.
Every day you hear the news. As an American citizen, I'm sure you're concerned.
And that's where the interview cut off. So I do want to extend an invitation to Jordan Maxwell, an indefinite invitation to come on the show to talk about whatever you want to talk about for as long as you want to talk about it. I promise it'll be really civil. I don't have an axe to grind with you. But if you want to talk about these issues point by point, I would be more than happy to do that with you. You can email me at nowheretorun1984@gmail.com. And, it's been a pretty negative few months. And this was, not that interview, not that last part, but the whole thing. Lots of backbiting and lying and just all kinds of stuff. And not just that, but some other issues that are going around. In fact, it's probably been just one of the most intense negative few months, ever. I'm used to negativity, I guess, to a certain degree. And I'm used to also not responding to that negativity. But it's been a little different flavor where it's really taken it to a new level. I'm not used to people just flat out, lying and stuff. But I kind of do feel like it's teaching me something. I don't know if it's patience or something like that, but I think that I'm learning something from it. So I'm just going to go with that for right now, and just say it's working together for good for some reason. And at the end of the day, I can't be all that shocked when negative stuff happens, because basically what I do is go around kicking hornets' nests, so it's not a big surprise if every once in a while I get stung by a hornet. So it's not a big deal, but it still doesn't change the fact that some days it's a little harder than others. But on the bright side, I do feel like things are good. I mean, why would I be, all this stuff happen if it wasn't some good being done out of it? So it keeps me going. But it certainly isn't exactly great timing for me to come out with a video and presentation, etc. on the rapture. That's exactly what I don't need in terms of, controversy and conflict right now. But man, it certainly, if I was just choosing, I guess in a way I am choosing for myself, but sometimes I feel led to do certain things, and I would not have felt led to do this about the rapture if it was just something I was doing for a popularity contest. I certainly, every time that you mention the rapture, it doesn't matter what your view is, you divide the whole lot. Right now, a lot of you are listening to this show and you like it or tolerate it or whatever. But as soon as I come out with that show, a huge percent of you will never listen to the show again. And that is not exactly a great thing to do, but it's just the nature of how that issue goes. The issue, though, I think should be more important is that the reason we have strong opinions is because we're all right a little bit. And I intend to really tiptoe around this issue, but to show that there is some truth in almost all the positions. And I think that there is a harmony that can happen with all those positions, but you have to incorporate Matthew 24. You can't say that Matthew 24 is just for the Jews. You have to say that Matthew 24 is for the church. And if you do that, then you can make all three of the major rapture positions, or formerly major, there's one of them is pretty much dropped out in form of another one right now, but then they all harmonize. And wouldn't that be much preferable? I mean, I think that the idea here is that while I know it's going to divide regardless, the hope is that it can stop ultimately the divisions, that we can all sort of get along again. If we can see that there is a way that there are no more contradictions. There is a way where you get to keep a consistent hermeneutic, where all the prophecies fit, Old and New Testament, where you get to keep Matthew 24. You don't have to throw out 2 Thessalonians 2 or misinterpret it or do anything crazy with between verses 1 and the rest of the chapter. You get to read everything like it says, that Revelation actually makes sense. You don't have to have like a private interpreter to tell you what each chapter means, that it actually all falls into place. And if that is something that is true, you guys can be the judge of that when I come out with it, then it should harmonize. It should bring us together, not tear us apart. This is not my personal view. I will also demonstrate that this is what the early church believed. The early church believed that it's sort of problematic when you say the early church believed anything. Everybody says the early church believed whatever they believe. But as I will demonstrate, I think I have a really excellent case about that. And I think that this is not an aberrant view. This is a view that harmonizes and gets rid of contradictions, that gets rid of divisions. And it is not exactly something I'm thrilled about doing. So, anyways, sort of a short show, and I didn't mean to end on a note like that. But if you need anything, if you need to contact me for any reason, questions about the Bible, questions about Christianity, anything at all, I'm here for you. Email me, nowheretorun1984@gmail.com. You can go to the website, Nowhere to Run Radio, and do the same. Just hit the contact button. And verse-by-verse Bible teaching tomorrow night on the Revelations Radio Network. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.